Hello, guys. Welcome back to SWS Boxing. Delighted to be joined with Shaun Morton. He is 1 win, 1 draw. My first question for you is, how did you get into boxing?
I kind of just fell into it, really, mate. Nothing really brought me down that pathway. It was just something I wanted to try. And then, yeah, I just sort of ended up enjoying from the first training session, really, just ended up enjoying it from there.
So, did you have a big amateur background?
No, I only had 17 fights, and I won 9 and lost 8 of them.
Mm-hmm.
So not really a big amateur career at all.
Mm-hmm. So you turned pro last year, and you made your debut against the tough man in Josh Cook.
Yep.
How do you feel that fight went for you?
Not gonna lie, it wasn't the best. I had a horrible camp. I picked up injuries in both my hands. I lost just under 3 stone. I was very dehydrated on the night. And yeah, I just couldn't. At the end of every round, I was sitting down, and my mouth was dry. Yeah, it wasn't my best performance. Um, so I knew I had to make
Did you
improvements for my
think
next
you
fight.
did you ever when it went all the way, did you think you did enough with that one or not enough?
Um, it was hard for me to gauge. It was hard for me to gauge when I was in there. And a lot of people afterwards were giving it, oh yeah, you look faded and stuff like that. And the fight wasn't recorded or anything, so I had really nothing to go off of until
Oh,
one of
it
my
has.
pals sent me. One of the rounds, and he said, "Oh, here you go. You can give this a watch." And I thought, "Hang on, I'm not doing too bad here." And it ended up being round 4. So I thought I'd done off the back of seeing
There's a
round 4.
link for all of the fight. It's on YouTube.
Oh, really? What, for my first one?
Yeah, and second.
Oh, I didn't see the first one was on there.
Do you want me to try if I can find it? Do you want me to send you a link or
Yeah, if you could, mate, that'd be brilliant.
yeah, we'll do.
But yeah, so that fight, I'd say probably the draw was fair.
Mm-hmm.
But I've had a couple of people say they thought I nicked it. It's just one of those things. It's a big learning curve. So the introduction to the pro games for me wasn't how I wanted it to start, but
Yeah.
it put hairs on my chest, I suppose, in terms of chucking me in at the deep end, sort of thing.
Yeah. Fair enough. And then you fought Paul Cummings, wasn't it?
Yep.
And you got your win and you won every round.
Yeah,
Much better performance that time this time round.
definitely, 100%.
Did you feel more better as you were fighting? Did you like because you said you didn't have the best of camp? Did you say? Would you say you had a better camp this time? And because you look good in there.
A lot much better camp. Didn't pick up any injuries. Had a nutritionist on board this time, so he made the weight cut a lot easier. I weighed in 2 kilos lighter for this fight than I did my debut, and felt a million times better in there. Just had so much more energy. Felt hydrated throughout the fight. It went so much better. Couldn't have asked for a better fight, to be fair.
Mm-hmm. So 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 you were happy with your performance?
Yeah, 100%.
Everything went to plan?
Yeah, everything went to plan. I'd been studying him the afternoon of the fight. Saw that he was quite prone to uppercuts through the middle, considering he's got quite a tight guard. And I
And
don't think
he's pretty tall, isn't he, for the weight?
yeah, and I
Does
don't
he
think I missed him. I
loads?
don't.
What weight are you competing at?
So for my debut, I competed at 74 kilo. And then for this time round, I made the middleweight limit 72.
And is that where you're gonna be fighting?
I'm gonna sit at middleweight for up and coming bouts. And then I think if any opportunities come up at super welterweight for titles or anything, I might push for the super welterweight. But obviously, I'm only getting older, and I'm gonna start filling out soon. So it might be harder to lose that extra couple of kilos. So we'll see where we go from here. But I don't think I fared too badly at middleweight. But it's just a waiting game, really.
Mm-hmm. So of course you had your fight earlier. This was it this month or yeah this month. Um, But how many more times are you trying to get out this year?
I think there's word that there's another show in Northampton in September. So
So try and get on that one.
Yeah, and then I don't know other than that really, to be honest with you, because I haven't got a massive fan base yet. It might be a bit of a struggle selling tickets on away shows, so it's a waiting game at the moment, building up a bit of a profile before we try and go on the roads anyway.
Ah, fair enough, mate. Would you rematch Josh Cook?
It's been, to be fair, it's actually been spoken about, and I wouldn't say no. I wouldn't say no, but at the end of the day, what do I get out of going back there really,
Get that win.
I suppose, but it didn't really. It's just one of those things. I mean, if it cropped up and I had the opportunity, I was to say I wouldn't say no, but I don't think I'd chase him for a rematch. But if, as I say, if it came up, I'd probably say yeah.
Yeah, fair enough, mate. So is it another 4-rounder in September, would you say?
Yeah. I think for my first 5 or 6, well, I think 5 bouts we're going to go 4 rounds, and then from 6 bouts onwards we'll move up to 6, and then just gauge it from there.
How far do you believe you can go in the sport?
If I'm honest, I haven't really. Everybody says, "Oh, the dream's to be world champion," and obviously it is. But I suppose a realistic. I'd just love to win a title as a pro. I didn't have an amateur style, so I was never going to win. I was never going to win anything really as an amateur. So the goal is just to win a title as a professional. That's the dream
So the
goal.
Midlands?
Any of them. I'm going to try and work my way through the area title, and then up that way. But yeah, any title, as long as I can get a title, I'll be happy.
Of course. Wait, you signed with Errol, are you?
No, I'm with Spencer McCracken.
So do you train with him as well?
No, because we go up there every so often, but we're more so up there for sparring.
So what gym you out of?
It's called Rough and Ready. Do you remember Kai Church, who you've interviewed previously? I train out the same gym as him.
Oh yes, Kai.
Yeah.
Kai, yes. So because he was on the show you fought on last time.
Yeah.
So it's because do you train with him? Do you spar with him a bit?
Yeah, we've had little moves around. Yeah.
He's a good fighter as well, isn't he?
He is. Yeah. He's quite strong as well for his weight. I don't know how he makes the weight that he does make, but yeah,
He's
he
super
is a good
light.
fighter. Yeah, he just looks looks so skinny when he makes that weight, but it's deceiving because he is quite strong.
Because I think he fought after you. Did you watch his fight?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
And were you impressed with his performance?
Yeah. I mean, his opponent seemed a bit tricky to deal with, considering because of how small he was.
And Kai's pretty tall for the weight as well.
Yeah, I think Kai's just over 6 foot for super lightweight, so it's quite tall for that sort of weight.
It is.
But yeah, I think it was a bit of a shock to his system with how short the opponent was, and he also got that opponent last minute as well. They had a last minute change.
He got the job done though.
Exactly, yeah.
And that guy was trying to be as awkward as he could because that guy didn't want to get stopped on his, I think it was 100th fight or something.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I don't think he would have wanted to get stopped on his 100th fight. That would not have been good for him.
Yeah.
But yes. Do you know your opponent for September or just?
Nah, as I say, I'm not sure because the show hasn't been confirmed yet. It's just floating around that's when it's due. And yeah, so I tend to not get matched until about 4 weeks before. So it's a while yet before I know.
Yeah. Fair enough. Because you're still at the stage where you fight the journeyman, and hopefully, when you get a bit more fights under your tent, then you'll start pushing up and up and up.
Yeah.
What fighters do you look up to?
Do you mean current fighters or just fighters in general?
Just any fighter.
So the fighter who I suppose, who inspired my style especially as an amateur. If you see any footage of me as an amateur, was Mike Tyson. I suppose that's quite a standard answer.
Yeah.
But then as I've matured as a fighter and kind of wanted to work on more things like my defense and stuff, I suppose you got to look at people like Canelo.
Of course.
How his head movements improved and everything. So I'd say they're probably the main two, really.
Yeah, yeah. That's fair enough, mate. So we see are they like two of your favourites?
Yeah, definitely.
What's your favourite Canelo fight?
Um, I'd say probably when he fought either James Kirkland for the knockout. That performance was good. Or which one is it? To be fair, his fight against Daniel Jacobs was quite good because that was when you sort of first saw how much he'd improved his defense and his head movement.
Mm-hmm.
So probably those two.
I liked his fight against Saunders.
Yeah, that was a good fight as well. Good performance as well.
Yeah.
He was struggling. He was struggling for the first few rounds as well. So it was good to see him sort of adapt and figure Saunders out.
I think I saw that Canelo's fighting Charlo next.
I think it's a bit. I think, to be fair, I've seen a few things floating around about different fighters. It's a bit up in the air for him at the minute, I think.
Yeah, what's the fight for you? Like for Canelo, what fight would you like to see Canelo fight?
I suppose he needs to make up his mind at what weight he wants to be at, I suppose. But I suppose the one that a lot of people are calling for is Benavidez. I think
Yeah,
that'd be quite a good fight.
I want
I'd
to
like
see
to
that
see.
one.
I'd like to see him fight. I'd like to see him fight. What's his name? I can't think of his name now. It's gone. Yeah, it's gone. I can't think of it now. It's gone.
The Bivol rematch?
I don't think he beats him. I think he's wasting his time. And if he brings Bivol down, tries to bring Bivol down a weight, if what he really achieved, he won't get credit for beating him if he's made Bivol drain his weight.
Yeah, yeah, fair.
So I'm not too sure on that one. I don't think he beats him at light heavyweight though.
What about Errol Spence v Crawford? Who've you got with that one? Because I've had loads of mixed opinions for that.
To be honest with you, I couldn't call it. It's going to be a close one. I do think it's coming a little bit late. It's been being talked about for a long time.
Yeah.
It would have been nice to see that fight sort of just before Errol's accident, because you never know how much that's going to have affected him.
Was he in a car accident or?
Yeah, big car accident.
When was it? A few years ago.
Yeah, I can't think how many years ago. I think it was a couple of years ago. But yeah, it would have been nice to see it before that. You just don't want any excuses to come out from either side. You just want to see a good fight from both men.
Yeah. What? So when Errol beat like Kell Brook or something?
Do you know what? I don't know. I think it was just after that fight that it happened. I think. I don't know. It's been a while since I've looked into it, to be fair. But yeah.
So you can't call it just a. Okay, would you say it's going to point? You don't have to pick a winner. Is it points or KO or?
I don't know. I honestly, I can't say. It's one of those fights that I just can't call. I could see either one of them knocking each other out, but I could also see it going to points. If neither one of them can end up landing cleanly, it could easily go to points.
Oh
so,
yeah.
My honest answer to you, mate, is I don't know.
You're one of just sitting on the fence.
I could sometimes I will call fights, but when they're as close as these ones, I can't call it.
Yeah, that's fair enough, mate. Because I can see Spence could win on points. Crawford could get the KO. Spence could be too quick for him. There's just
so many factors.
Yeah, you can't argue with if somebody said any of them, in my opinion.
Yeah, very true.
But if I had to edge to one, I would be saying Crawford. But that's going to be
any particular reason?
I just think Crawford we'll get to him late on, to be fair.
Yeah.
But Spence, I reckon if Spence wins, I reckon he'll, because Spence is quick with his feet. He's, I would say he's fast with his hands as well, very slick.
Yeah.
And but yeah, it should be. Just put it that way, it'll be a good fight. I, I'm not 100% sure, but at the minute, I'm thinking Crawford.
Points or KO?
Late. Wouldn't say. Yeah, actually, Crawford round sort of 10, 9 to 11, 9, 10 or 11, round those. But yeah, all we can say, and I'm sure you'll agree, it's just going to be a great fight, that one.
Definitely.
What other fights are the big fights coming up? There's been a few though, hasn't there?
There was a good few weeks of boxing, to be fair.
Yeah, did you see? Did you get a chance to watch Loma v Devon Haney?
I actually haven't watched it, to be fair. I was supposed to. I stuck it on the other day. But I was off with my son, so he ended up having other ideas, so I had to switch it off. But I do need to watch it back.
Yeah,
I know a lot of people said that they thought that Loma had it.
I had a
draw. Wasn't there a weird scorecard? Like, wasn't one of the scorecards really wide?
116, 111.
I think people are more upset with how big there's a gap, because there's been a lot of judges at the minute that there's been 2 close cards and then one really far apart card. And
yeah,
like,
exactly.
How you saw that?
That's what happened with Lopez and Taylor, because two of the judges had it 115, 113. It was far too close.
Yeah.
And it's weird how some of these everyone else sees it wide apart, and then the judges, for somehow, just see it close, don't they? It's just that's what's good about boxing, especially when it goes to decisions. You just never know, do you, at the end of the day? Because these judges at the minute is just shocking.
Yeah.
Because we've seen a few shockers as well, haven't we?
Yeah, definitely.
It happens quite often.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. Wait, so as you going back to yourself, did you say that you were with you're not signed with Errol, or you just signed with your gym? Like, is that your promoter or manager or?
I've literally just got Spencer McCracken as my manager.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
so you said that. Sorry.
Yeah, I've got no promoter or anything. Just literally just the manager.
Oh, I just assumed that you were with Errol because you fought on his shows.
Yeah, no, I think that's the only reason for that is because they're the only shows that are done in Northampton.
Yeah, they're your like local shows.
Yeah. Because
how many tickets do you do? Do you do decent enough tickets? Would you say?
I mean, I've done decent amounts. I've done decent amounts both times, but they've been a struggle. I think it's more so the timings of years of the show, and different things coming up. Like the last one, people were just getting ready to go on holidays and stuff, so money's tight. The one in February was just after Christmas, and 40 quid for some people is a lot of money. So
it is, yeah.
It's hard work sometimes, but yeah, I've
actually managed to see yourself like if you struggle to get these home fights in, because there's really at Northampton there's only 3 shows sort of a year, and if you want to get out more, would you jump on like in the away corner but still like trying to have to go for it? You know what I mean?
Yeah. If that's what I had to end up doing, that's what I'd end up doing. I need to, as you say, activity's key. So if that's what I had to do, that's what I'd end up doing. And
even if you did go in the away corner, you can, because Ben Fields, not sure if you know him, but he's been boxing in there, and he's got a record like 11 and 12 or something. Being Midlands champion, and he's just won an English title eliminator. So just you can still go through that route and still achieve your dreams.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, and before I let you go, Shaun, do you want to just thank like your team?
Yeah, 100%. None of this would be possible without my coach. I'd have to give a shout out to Jack Coke as well, who was the nutritionist that I used. He made my last camp phenomenal. But yeah, and then all the lads in the gym who help spar with me, do the runs, all that sort of stuff. You can't do it without them. They help you get through some tough times, especially going through camp. That's the hardest bit people don't see. So,
and yeah, I do really appreciate your time, and well done the other week, mate.
nice one. Thank you, mate.
And cheers for your time, and keep smashing it.
Nice one. No worries, mate.
Cheers, mate. Bye.
No worries. See you later.
Bye bye.